Hi, my name is Roosevelt Emerson, and I will be portraying Booster from the August Wilson Pittsburgh cycle. Yeah, Pop, you taught me a lot of things. And a lot of things I had to learn on my own. Like that time Mr. Rand came to the house to collect the rent when we was 2 months behind in the rent. I don't know what, I don't remember what year it was, but I just know it was winter. Grandma Ada had just died and you had got behind in the rent because you had to help pay for her funeral. I don't know if you know it, Pop, but you were a big man. Everywhere you went, people treated you like you were a big man. You used to take me to the barber shop with you. You'd walk in there and fill up the whole place. Everybody would stop cussing because Jim Becker had walked in. I would just look at you and wonder, how could you be that big? I wanted to be big like that. I would go to school and try to make myself feel big, but I never could. I told myself, that's okay. When I get grown, I'm gonna be big like that. Walk into the barber shop, and everybody stop and look at me. That day Mr. Rand came to the house, it was snowing. You came out on the porch, and he started shouting and cussing and threatening to put us out on the street where we belong. I was just waiting for you to tell him to shut up, to get off your porch. But you just looked at him and promised that you would have the money next month. Mama came to the door and Mr. Rand started shouting and cussing. And I looked at Mama and she was trying to get me to go in the house. And I looked at you, and you had gotten smaller. The longer he shouted, the smaller you got. When we went back to the barber shop, you didn't seem big no more. You was just another man in the barber shop. You was the same size as everybody else. That's when I told myself, if I ever got big, I wouldn't let nothing make me feel small. Then when I met Susan McKnight and found out that her daddy was the vice president of Gulf Oil, that's when I got big. That made me a big man. I felt like I could walk in the barber shop and fill it up the way that you did. Then when she told that lie on me, that's when I realized that I wasn't big on my own. When she told that lie on me, it made me feel small. I wanted to do something that said that I just wasn't another nigger, that I was Clarence Becker. I wanted them to remember my name. I wanted to make the Becker's name big again. I thought you would understand. I thought you would be proud of me. Who the hell say I got to like you? What law is there to say I got to like you? Come talking about some damn fool-ass question like that. Talking about liking somebody. Come here, boy, when I talk to you. Don't you eat every day? Yeah, you eat every day. You got a damn roof over your head. You got clothes on your back. And why you think that is? Hell, I know it's 'cause of me. But why you think that is? Like you. I go out of here every morning, bust my butt, putting up with them white crackers every day. 'Cause I like you. You about the biggest fool I ever saw. It's my responsibility. You understand that? A man got to take care of his family. You live in my house. Sleep you behind on my bedclothes. Fill you belly up with my food. 'Cause 'Cause you my son. Not 'cause I like you. 'Cause it's my responsibility to take care of you. Let's get this straight right here. Before it go along any further. I ain't got to like you. Mr. Rand don't come give me my money come payday 'cause he likes me. He gives it to me 'cause he owes me. I done give you everything. I give you life. Me and your mama worked that out between us. And liking your black ass wasn't part of the damn bargain. Don't you try and go throughout life worrying about if somebody like you or not. You best make sure they doing right by you. You understand what I'm saying, boy? I don't play no contest, Mr. Bynum. Had one of them white fellas cue me at that. I ain't been nowhere near a contest since. I was sitting at home, just getting ready to sit down and eat when somebody came up to my house and got me. Told me there's a white fella down there, say he's gonna give the prize to the best guitar player he could find. So I take my guitar on down there and somebody had gone and got Bobo Smith. Him another fella I call Hooter. Old Hooter, he couldn't play no guitar. He do more hollering than playing. But Bobo, oh, he could go at it a while. This fella standing there say he's gonna get the prize, and me and Bobo started playing for him. Bobo played something and I too tried playing something and better than what he did. Old Hooter, he just hollering, bang at a guitar. Man was the worst guitar player I ever seen. So me and Bobo played and I saw where he was getting the attention of this white fella. He playing and while he was playing, he'd be slapping the guitar on the side. It made it sound like he was playing more than what he was. So I started doing it too. White fella, he ain't knew no difference. He ain't knew as much about a guitar as old Hooter did. So, and after a while, the white fella called us to him and said he couldn't make up his mind. Say all three of us was the best guitar player, and we'd have to split the prize between us. Then he gave us 25 cents. That's 8 cents a piece and a penny on the side. That cured me of guitar playing to this day. Got 100 acres, good land. Now he got to give that up. He done sold it piece by piece. His brother come down here from Chicago for the funeral. He anxious to sell it. Doka, he don't want to be bothered with it. He called me to him and say because we friends and all, say he want to give the land to me. Say he'd rather give it to me than to give it to old Jim Stovall. Told me he'd let me have it for $2,000 cash money. He don't know. I done found out the most Stovall would give him for it is $1,500. He trying to get that extra $500 out of me, telling me he doing me some favor. Oh, I thanked him just as nice. Told him what a good man Sutter was and how he had my sympathy and all. Told him to give me 2 weeks. He said he'd wait on me. That's why I come up here. Sell them watermelons. Get Bernice to sell that piano. Put them 2 parts with the one I done saved and walk in here, tip my hat, lay my money down table and, hey, get my seed and walk on out. This time I get to keep all the cotton. Hire me some men to work for me. Gin my cotton, oh, get my seed, and hey, I'll see you again next year. I might even plant some tobacco or some oats. Now I'm gonna tell you the way I see it. The only thing that make that piano worth something is them carvings Papa Boy Charles put on there. That's the only thing that make it worth something. That was my great granddaddy. He's the one who brought that piano up in this house, Papa Boy Charles. Now I'm supposed to build on what they say they left for me. You can't do nothing with that piano sitting up here in the house. That'd be just like if I let them watermelons sit out there and rot. I'd be a fool. All right now, if you come to me and say, boy Willie, I'm using the piano. I give out lessons on it and that helped me make my rent or whatnot. That'd be something different. I'd have to go on and say, well, Bernice using the piano. She building on it. Let her go on and use it. I'd have to find another way to get Sutter's land. But Doka say you ain't touched that piano since you been up here. So why you trying to stand in my way? See, you just looking at that old sentimental value. That's good. That's all right. I take my hat off whenever somebody say my daddy's name. But I ain't gonna be no fool over no sentimental value. You can sit up here for the next 100 years. It's still gonna be a piano. You can't make no more than that. Now I got to get Sutter's land. I get Sutter's land, I go down there and cash in my crop and get my seed. As long as I got the land and the seed, then I'm all right. I can always make a little something else because that land give back to you. I can make another crop and, hey, cash that in. But that piano don't put up nothing else. You ain't got nothing working for you. Now the kind of man my daddy was, he would have understand that. But I'm sorry you can't see it that way. But that's why I'm gonna take that piano out of here and sell it. She trying to scare me. Hell, I ain't scared of death. I look around and see people dying every day. You got to die in order to make room for somebody else. I had a puppy that died. It wasn't nothing but a little old dog. I picked it up and carried it down there, put it in the bag, and carried it to C.L. Thompson's church. I carried it up there and asking Jesus' name to help it live like it did the man in the Bible. Say asking Jesus' name, I prayed real hard, knelt down and everything. I called his name 200 times. I called his name till my mouth got so. I looked in the bag and the dog's still dead. Well, ain't nothing in life precious. That's when I went out there and killed me a cat. That's when I discovered the power of death. See, a nigga that's scared of dying is the worst type of nigga for the white man. He don't hold no power over you. I command him. I called him up. The white man don't like to see it when you do that there. See, he don't like for you to stand at him and look him square in the eye and say, I got it too. That's when he got to deal with you square up. Say, Mr. West, I was thinking, I ain't never driven me no Cadillac. I figure everybody should drive a Cadillac at least once before they die. A man got 7 Cadillacs. Need somebody to drive them, right? You should see me driving. Can't nobody beat me at driving. I drove a getaway car once, and we got away too. I done been in the penitentiary. I tell you that up front. I figure everybody should work at what they like to do. So I asked myself, Sterling, what do you like to do? The closest I could come up with was, I like to drive Cadillacs. So if you need anybody, you just let me know. But do you have to wash them before you drive them? I don't want to wash them without driving them. If I could wash 7 at a time for about $5 a piece, I might do that. How long you reckon it take me to do that? I don't reckon it take me no more than 3 hours if you do a good job. Every time I see them, they be clean, except for the grill. You ought to tell them to get a little brush and scrub in those spots with. It won't hurt the chrome none. I went up there to see old man Mr. Allen. He was sitting up there with about 4 or 5 bodyguards. They let me in to see him, and I told him to give me my $2 back. He gave me my $2 and asked me for $600 back. I told him no. Told him I was gonna keep that. That way I have something that belonged to him for a change. He looked at me funny and told me to leave the same way I had come in. Told one of his bodyguards to show me the door. So I left out there and I walked by old Aunt Esther. She was just sitting up there. They walked me into this room and I talked to her for a long while. Told her my life story. Ain't nobody ever talked to me that long. I cannot swim, does not walk by the lakeside. It took me a while to figure out what she meant. Told me to make good at what you have and you have the best. Then she wrote something down on a piece of paper, put it in an envelope, and told me to put it in my shoe and walk around on it for 3 days. So I asked her, how much do I owe her? She said to take $20 and throw it in the river. She said she get it. She had this look about her, real calm and sweet like. So I asked her how old she was. She said she was 349 years old. Holloway had it wrong. So I just took the $20 and threw it in the river and didn't think nothing about it. Man, I said I was gonna wait them 3 days and see what happened. You should go on up there and see her. She a real nice old lady. She said to me, yeah, you the one that God sent when he said he couldn't send no angel. When I was living with Miss Johnson, before she died, I used to take care of her husband. He'd get up every morning at 6 o'clock. 6:30, oh, he out the door. Now he ain't coming back till 10 o'clock at night. He go down to J&L and lift 100-pound slabs of steel till 3 o'clock. Then he go down to the fish market and help them clean that up. Now what he got? He got 6 kids of his own, not to mention me. He got a raggedy house with some old beat up furniture. Can't get a house because he can't get no loan. He worked 30 years at the mill and it can't even get a union card. You got to work 6 months straight. They lay him off every 2 weeks for 6.5 months. He got to call the police after they clean up the fish market so they can let him out of the building. Make sure he don't steal anything. What they got? They got 2 pounds of catfish. There got to be something else. I ain't sure I want to do all that. Ain't nothing to do. Unless I go into undertaker business like Wes. I can't go out here in Squirrel Hill and open up a restaurant. Ain't nothing left around here. Supermarket gone. 2 drugstore. The 5 and dime. Dentist done moved out. Doctors done moved out. Shoe store gone. Ain't nothing left but these niggas killing one another. That don't never wear out. West gonna get richer, and everybody else is gonna get poor. At one time, you couldn't find a seat in this place. The jukebox working and everything. Time somebody get up, somebody sit down before they could walk out the door. People coming from everywhere. Everybody gotta eat, and everybody gotta sleep. Some people don't have stoves. Some people don't have nobody to cook for them. Men whose wives have died and left them. Cook for them 30 years and lay down and die. Now who's gonna cook for them? Somebody got to do it. I order 4 cases of chicken on Friday and Saturday, and it's gone. Fry it up, make a stew, boil it, and add some dumplings. You couldn't charge no more than $1, but then you didn't have to. It didn't charge no more than 1/4. The man come every 2 weeks to collect the jukebox. People come from all over. The man come every twice a week to collect the jukebox. He pay 75 cents and make $200 off of it. If it's a big hit, he liable to make 400. The chicken gone by Sunday. It ain't nothing like that now. That's all right. I'll take that. But if they gonna tear it down, they're gonna have to meet my price. Tanya's pictures. They ain't got Tanya's pictures. Told me they can't find them and they ain't got no record of them. I started to grab him by his throat. How in the hell a receipt ain't gonna count? That's like money. I showed him the receipt and he said that didn't count. I told his dumb ass to get the manager. The manager come talking about their system and how it's based on phone numbers. I told him I didn't care about his system. A receipt is a receipt all over the world. You can't have a system where a receipt don't count. You can't just go making up the rules. I don't care if you Sears, Roebuck, and Kmart, or anybody else. You can't have a system where receipts don't count. I tried to tell him this politely, like Mama Louise taught me. He wasn't listening. He trying to talk while I'm talking. I told him, motherfucker, shut up and listen to me. He threatened to call the police. I told him he better call the United States Marines too. The police come to arrest me. They tried to take my receipt. I told them they have to kill me first. They gonna charge me with fraud, forgery, extortion, larceny, grand theft, second-degree robbery, and anything else they can think of. They're gonna talk to me about how they can prove to me how the receipt don't count. See, they don't know, but they're gonna give me my goddamn pictures. I don't bother nobody, but I can turn that around real quick. My 5th grade teacher told me I was gonna be a janitor. She said she can tell by how good I clean the blackboards. Had me believing it. I come home and tell Mama I wanted to be a janitor. She say, okay. She said, you can be anything you want it to be. I say, okay, I'll be a janitor. I thought that was what I was supposed to be. I didn't know no better. The first job I got down there on Wiley. Got one job, and the man told me he was gonna shoot me if he caught me stealing anything. I ain't worked for him 10 minutes. I quit right there. He calling me a thief before I even start. Nessie told me I shouldn't have quit. But I'm a man. I don't bother nobody. And I know right from wrong. I know what's right for me. That's where me and people part ways. Tanya asked me when we gonna move. She want a decent house, one that ain't plasters falling off the walls. I say, okay, but I gotta wait. But what am I waiting on? I don't know. I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting on things to change. That means I got to be living here forever. Tanya deserves better than that. I go for a job and they ask, what can you do? I say, I can do anything. If you give me the tanks and the airplanes, I can go out there and win any war that's out there. I can dance all night if the music's right. I can build a railroad if I had the steel and a gang of men to drive the spikes. I can go down there and do Melon's job. I know how to count money. I don't loan money to anybody who asks me. I know how to do business. I'm talking about mayor, governor. Hey, I can do it all. I ain't got no limits. I know right from wrong. I know which way the wind blows. It don't blow my way. I ain't sorry for nothing I done. And ain't gonna be sorry. I'm gonna see to that. Cause I'm gonna do the right thing for me. Always. It ain't in me to do nothing else. We might disagree about what that is, but I'm gonna do what's right for me. As long as I draw breath in my body, I'm gonna do what's right for me. What I got to be sorry for. People say, ain't you sorry you killed Purnell? I ain't sorry I killed Purnell. The nigga deserved to die. He cut my face. I told the judge, not guilty. They thought I was joking, so I say, the nigga cut me. How can I be sorry for killing him? That's just common sense. I don't care about what the law say. The law don't understand this. It must not. Where's the understanding? If a burglar breaks in a white man's house and steals his TV and the white man shoot him, oh, they don't say he wrong. Oh, they pat him on the back and tell him to go on home. You see what I'm saying? They all said guilty. They asked them one by one. Had 9 white men and 3 white women. They all said guilty. They wouldn't even look at my face. I told them to look at me. Look at my scar. I would get closer so they could see my face. The judge liked to have a fit. They had 6 deputies come at me from all sides. They said I tried to attack the jury. I was just trying to get closer so they could see my face. They tried to run out the door. They took and put me into solitary confinement. Said I was unruly. Purnell made me kill him. Purnell called me champ. I told him, my name's King. He said, yeah, champ. I go on. I don't say nothing. I told myself, he don't know. He don't know. My daddy killed the man for calling him out of his name. He don't know. He fucking with King Hadley II. I got an atomic bomb as far as he's concerned, and I got to use it. They say God looks after fools and drunks. I used to believe that was true. But seeing as how he was both, I don't know anymore. He called me champ, and I don't say nothing. I put him on probation Saturday. I don't know why it's always on a Saturday, but Saturday I went up to buy some potatoes. I say I want to have some mashed potatoes. I told Nessie, say, you get the milk and the butter, and I'll get the potatoes. I went up to Wester's on Wiley. I go halfway down there, and I seen Pernell. First thing I tell myself is, I ain't gonna be nobody's champ today. I fixed that hard in my head, and I tried to walk past him. I didn't want to ignore him, so I say, how you doing, Pernell? No sooner than the words got out of my mouth, and then I felt something hot on my face, and then something warm and wet. This nigga done cut me. He hit me with that razor and I froze. I didn't know what happened, but it was like somebody turned on a light and everything stood still. And I could see him smiling. And then he ran. I don't know which way he ran, but I was still blinded by that light. It took the doctor 4 hours and 112 stitches to sew me up. I say, that's all right. The king is still here. But I figure that scar got to mean something. I can't take it off. It's part of me now. As long as Pernell's still walking around it ain't nothing but a scar. I had to give it some meaning. I told myself, it's either me or him, even though I knew that was a lie. I saw the funeral. I heard the preacher. I saw the undertaker. I saw the grave diggers. And I saw the flowers. And then I seen his woman. That was the hardest part. It was hard, but she got to suffer. She got to play the widow. She got to cry the tears. And about 2 weeks later, I saw Pernell going into Herb's bar. He went straight back to the phone booth. I don't know who he was calling, but I know that was the last call he made. I looked at my scar in the phone booth and I tapped on the glass. He turned and froze right there. The first bullet hit him in the mouth. I don't know where the other 14 went, but the only regret is I didn't get away. I didn't get away with murder that time, but I done got smarter. The next one gonna be self-defense. The next one ain't gonna cost me nothing.